friends, welcome back to my channel. Male, okay. Thank you for that. I've got ghost tube running today for your reading. It seems to be a bit of a theme about what I'm channeling, kind of paranormal investigation, this kind of thing. We'll get into it, but just so you know, you may hear ghost tube sort of chatting away next to us. I'll turn it up a little bit, hopefully it'll pick up on camera. So Aquarius, what I've had so far was male, which is what it just said there. So maybe you're a male watching this. Maybe we're going to be talking about a male. It's also said, since I've started turning it on, it said, I'm not sure how, and lower your voice. Now, I wasn't actually talking when it said lower your voice, so I don't know how accurate it is. It's an app, you can download it yourself. It's called GhostTube, yeah, you just run it. It reads, I think it's electromagnetic activity, and it turns that into words. So we'll see what we get from it. If anything else, it's a bit of fun, right? Maybe we'll get something important. I have been told by my guides that this is going to be quite a big reading. That's the words that came through, quite a big reading. So whether it's going to be a long reading, important reading, maybe a lot's going to happen in it, I don't know, but that's what I've been told. I also got this thing about like the upside down, which makes me think of a Paloma Faith song, and it makes me think of Stranger Things, so maybe they're relevant to you in some sort of way. What's come through strongly, again, it's been a while since I did Capricorn's reading, so I've been channeling for you for a while. This idea of pathways opening up, so I'm seeing literally like pathways, like could be choices that you have, things about cars. Now what's interesting is, as I was pre-shuffling for your reading, the Chariot came out, and I've been seeing the Chariot a lot. It's coming out quite insistently for you. So the Chariot card can mean cars. Interestingly enough, I feel like you could be tying into Scorpio's reading. So if you've got any strong Scorpio placements, check out their reading. There was something a bit dark coming through, which is typical for Scorpio. This idea of kind of getting into strangers' cars. So be very, very careful about that. If you're hitchhiking or anything like that, I do not recommend. It's 222 on the timestamp there, so make of that what you will. Yeah, and then, so I was getting this... like pathways and cars was coming through. That was kind of one thing separately, and then I was getting a David Bowie song really, really stuck in my head, and it's the song the man who sold the world. So this song is a very, very interesting song, because he talks about like basically meeting himself on the stairs, right, and having a conversation with himself. So this idea of kind of like time travel coming through, alternative dimensions. Again, this idea of pathways could be like overlapping. What I was kind of picking up on was, do you ever play computer games where it's kind of got a linear story and you don't like how the story's playing out? Maybe you feel like you made a wrong choice, so you kind of reload the save and you play, you make a change, you do something different, and it plays out differently. So if I kind of take this concept kind of now as I'm channeling live on camera and kind of adapt it to life advice, it could be about patterns of behavior, especially if we're talking about kind of ancestral patterns or patterns of the community that you were raised in. So say, for example, everybody you know has always been in a really toxic relationship. It's like that cycle can repeat. So if you look at what those people did, the choices that they made, and you make different choices, perhaps you could have the potential for a healthy relationship, right? Or it's like jobs, right? Maybe everybody in your family has a really bad attitude towards jobs and, you know, working, so nobody has any good jobs. But if you think, right, I'm going to change my mindset about work, and I'm going to have the attitude of success, maybe you could go and get a really good job and have a really good career. So it's all about your personal autonomy, your ability to make changes and change your route, change your path, change your future. Now, Aquarius, one of my guides that comes through that I associate with Aquarius energy is Starman, who is very... that has a lot to do with kind of physics and time travel, and kind of feels a bit alien to me. So all these kind of concepts are very in keeping with Aquarius energy and what I usually channel for you. In fact, David Bowie, although he was a Capricorn, I do associate him very, very strongly with Aquarius energy. He feels very Aquarius to me, like futuristic, quirky, very individual. yeah, had a lot to say about humanity, I feel. Very, very Aquarius. And I believe he did have an Aquarius moon. So yeah, it's not surprising for me that I'm getting David Bowie, this kind of starman energy in your reading. So I kind of dismissed this, like the man who sold the world, David Bowie. Okay, I've got Aquarius next. Of course, I'm channeling David Bowie. But then I kind of woke up kind of with this song in my head, and I, without saying a word, right, without speaking out loud, and I put Spotify on and randomized. And from all the songs, I mean, I don't have many songs comparatively by David Bowie on my playlist, but it chose a David Bowie song. The very first song that came on when I woke up with David Bowie in my head was a David Bowie song. So this is a big confirmation for me that this is significant in some sort of way. And it's the song As the World Falls Down, which is the song from Labyrinth, As the World Falls Down. But what's really interesting to me is that both of these songs by David Bowie both have the word world in the title, The Man Who Sold the World and As the World Falls Down. So we have slipped into this very Aquarian season where Pluto has gone into Aquarius, and we're going to see a, excuse me? Do not what? Do you want to explain what you mean? Do not what? So Pluto in Aquarius has a lot of potential to make big political changes. If you look at history and the time period...
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay, sweetie. Well, you keep thinking about it and let me know if you have anything else to say. Me talking to this app. So yeah, so if you do look at historical time periods when Pluto was in Aquarius, this is something you can just Google. There have been quite significant political shifts. For example, I believe the French Revolution happened when Pluto was in Aquarius and things like this. So you can fact check me on that and do your own research on it. It's up to you how much credibility you give all these different things or not. So yeah, so we could be talking about changes to the world over the next sort of 7 to 14 years. We could be seeing a lot of that. Now, what's really interesting to me, I was getting this feeling of, especially with like cars and passengers, right? And then the David Bowie song, the man, you know, I met him up on the stairs. We spoke of ways and where. So maybe you've had a dream where you've spoken to yourself or something like this. I don't know. Maybe you've got this sense of, maybe you just chat to yourself. A lot of people do this. It's very common. It's actually a bit strange when people don't have an internal monologue. Maybe you do have these little internal arguments with yourself. I'd say that's quite normal. But I was getting this feeling of an attachment, right? So whether someone feels like they've got an attachment, and when I say this, it could be an attachment to a person, like a real person in the real world that you're very attached to. But what I'm talking about is something a bit more spooky, right? I've got Ghost Tube on for a reason.
Behind you.
Oh, don't creep me out. Behind you. That is creepy, mate. So I'm not turning around. My guides normally are behind me. That's very normal for me to have my guides behind me, so I'm not creeped out by that. Yeah. So the this feeling of like, maybe you do feel like there's something behind you. Maybe you've got that feeling of being watched or something like this. And I'm not trying to scare you. We're not doing a spooky reading here. Actually, I think there's some stuff coming through that's very comforting. But maybe this is you, maybe you feel this about somebody else. Now, I was getting a lot of confirmation of this. I got the song Passenger. I am the passenger, I ride and I ride. You've got the chariot here. I don't know, there's a theme coming through Aquarius. I also got confirmation because you got the song Seven Devils by Florence and the Machine. So somebody could feel like they've got demonic attachments. I don't put any belief in that. I don't think that's necessarily a thing. I don't really believe in good and evil. I believe in situations, and yes, I believe that there's lighter and darker energy, but I think you get to choose what you engage with or not, right? You get to choose what you open up to or not. So I don't know what your belief systems are around that, but this is what's coming through. I do have that feeling of like maybe somebody's been dabbling with something up. Okay, now maybe I need to get the SLS out, right? Maybe somebody has been dabbling with, I mean, up is really positive, right? Because up would be the sky, the sun, the planets, heavens. It'd be where Starman's hanging out. So that makes a lot of sense. Thank you, by the way, for talking to us. I really appreciate it. yeah, maybe somebody's been dabbling with something, and maybe, and you know, when you go on like ghost tours, like somebody could have gone to a particularly um, a place with really bad energy, because I think you could go to somewhere, like for me, like going to somewhere like a graveyard is really really positive, because it's a sign that people loved people, right? It's a sign that people wanted to do something to honor and remember their passed over loved ones. In fact, you've got, excuse me, sorry, I'm knocking my pen. In fact, you've got the song "Remember Them," which is from a musical called Epic about Odysseus. But the song "Remember Them," right? Remember the dead, remember the fallen. And you've also had "Cardigan" by Taylor Swift, kind of in quick succession, which she says, "I knew you dancing in your Levi's, da, 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 da." You know, so she's remembering someone, right? She's remembering the past. So maybe you're remembering someone that's passed over. Maybe you try to contact someone, perhaps a mother. You're getting a lot of mother stuff coming through, and you feel like something else came in. I don't know. I'm not trying to suggest anything or put anything into your mind right now. I'm just telling you what I've been picking up on. So yeah, I'm also getting something coming through about. Sure, yeah, fine, sure, maybe. So I don't know if you can actually hear the ghost tube there. Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit. I don't want it to be too loud and make us all jump. But yeah, maybe that's the thing, right? A lot of people go to spooky places not necessarily expecting to see anything, or you know, sometimes people do it for fun. Sort of like going to a fair and going through a haunted house, right? It's like going because you want to be scared, because it gets the adrenaline going. I'm not inclined towards that. I don't like spooky, you know, like, you know, like when you go somewhere and it's like you're touring, you know, the dungeons of a castle, and they've got people like dressed up, and you know, they're like running after you and things. Like, I am not about that. But I do believe in spirits, and I you know, spiritual investigations and taking it very seriously and being very respectful is more of my vibe. um yeah, I don't know. People do things for different reasons, I think. And I think there's something about that as well, because I think a lot of places, people go to places that have a lot of reports of spiritual activity, and they do rituals there and things like that, where, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you could. Come over here. Come over here? Come over where? I did actually just hear something click behind me. I'm a bit busy right now. I'm doing a reading, so we'll hang out later, I guess. I don't know. No spiritual attachments. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's like you know, you might say the wrong thing, and I don't know. I don't know. I think that souls are just people hanging around, right? And you have nice people and you have mean people, right? You have people who do good things, you have people who do bad things. And so again, this idea of like, just be careful, because you don't want to kind of open the doors to, you know, a whole community of spirits, because you don't know what you're getting in that mix. You know, it's like going out into the street and talking to everybody you meet. Some people might be nice, some people might not be nice. So if you think about it that way, I think it's less scary, because it's like just people. And again, like I say, I think a lot of it is situational. Anyway, let's move swiftly on. Let's actually pull some cards on camera for you and see what we get. I think you have to be careful as well about bringing your own beliefs into situations, because perhaps if you've grown up particularly religious, you know, I think, for example, a Catholic community has a lot of ideas about good and evil, and, you know, demonic possession and things like this, where, you know, perhaps if you're from a more pagan religion, you may have a different viewpoint of these things. Yeah, I don't know. So just be careful about, you know, how open-minded you are and how close-minded you are, and are you bringing any prejudices into a certain situation? Oh, the other thing as well, somebody could, especially if you are connected. Be careful. Be careful. Thank you. Be careful. Yes, this might actually be a genuine warning, because Scorpio's reading had this thing about perhaps a child who had got into a situation, perhaps was, you know, I don't know. There was this thing about somebody getting into a car with somebody and going to a city. So do be careful if you've got a Scorpio around you, or you're dealing with a Scorpio, if you've got Scorpio placements, because this could actually be a warning that I was getting this kind of, for you, I'm getting this kind of mother-child relationship where Perhaps it's a mother on the other side and she's telling you to be careful. I'm getting this feeling of, you had the song Helicopter by Maisie Peters, I think she's called. So this idea of like a helicopter parent, and you had Mary Magdalene, which is a mother energy. So I feel like there could be a protective mother spirit around you, which is why I'm saying you don't have to be scared. The protective mother spirit's around, you know, but somebody could be, again, just picking up my notes and the thing that I haven't covered yet. There could be somebody with some kind of something going on with them where they're perhaps acting very out of character, or they're perhaps acting very spontaneously. You had some songs like Borderline by Madonna, which could be talking about crossing borders, perhaps, I don't know, you know, because you've got the world message coming through, so it could be like world borders, but also Borderline is BPD, right, which is a behavioral disorder. Normally it's because of the way that you've been treated in childhood and things like this, but not always. I'm not a psychologist.
Don't leave.
Don't, oh my God, that is significant. Don't leave. Yeah, so BPD is characterized by attachment issues, and again, you have the word attachments, and it was just 1555 on the timestamp there. 5 is about change, and I did see a card that said change. So people with BPD can be particularly vulnerable to change. That this is where they can, you know, the symptoms can kind of be heightened because it comes from a fear of abandonment and a fear of not feeling secure. So secure attachments are really important to people for BPD, and you know, positive attachments, not toxic. I'm talking now about actual relationships with people, by the way, not necessarily spirits. So there could be someone who is particularly attached. Perhaps they've got a new boyfriend, a new partner. Perhaps they're very, very attached to them, but this person's kind of toxic. They're acting very out of character. They're acting a bit wild. All these kinds of things could be coming through. Yeah, impulsive behavior. So you had Don't Stop Me Now. I'm having a good time. Right? It's like, don't stop me. I don't want to hear it. You know, if a parent's trying to say, hey, come home, or, you know, calm down.
You.
Me? Hey, I am sat at home being very well behaved. I don't know. It said you, maybe you, the person watching. Yeah, and this person's kind of like, stop spoiling my fun. I'm out having a good time. The song Bartender by Lana Del Rey, where she talks about buying a truck in the middle of the night and going on the run and no one knows where she is. Amaretto, which is a song about, you know, she spins round and round, where her life ends up, nobody knows. I guess I'll just watch the show. So this idea of kind of like, sometimes you just have to let people live their own life and discover things for themselves, and you can't always control somebody just because you think that they're not living their life in the best way. You know, sometimes you have to just watch and stand there with a safety net, I guess. And she's on fire, you know, she's on fire. So somebody sounds like they're
over here.
Come over here. Where? Where? Tell me where. You're saying come over here, but you need to tell me where. There could also definitely be something with tapping. I was getting this thing about somebody who's unable to speak or unable to be heard. Perhaps you feel like somebody's not listening to you. But if this is a spiritual thing, it could be that this person communicates with taps. So I don't know. Can you do this? I don't know. I'm an intuitive person. I'm more of a clairvoyant medium.
Come back.
Come back? Come back where? Maybe you're walking around. I don't know. Maybe they're telling you to come back to the reading. So yeah, so I'm more of an intuitive. I get images and messages beamed directly into my mind. They are legitimate. You know, at first when this first started happening, I thought I was going crazy, but I will get messages that play out. So for example, going back to I'd have to stop YouTube to show you this. Sorry, Ghost Tube to show you this because it's on my phone, but I'll put it in the reading. I'll put the still image up on the reading. So like I said, I was channeling the name David really strongly, and I was even talking to someone about how I always get the name David for Aquarius reasons, because my uncle was called Uncle David, and I believe he was Aquarius, and he loved David Bowie, and he had that kind of starman energy, so I always get the name David for Aquarius. And then I was getting that thing about attachments. And then I was watching, funnily enough, a Sam and Colby video. Again, the theme of spiritual investigation, ghost tours, all that kind of thing is coming through mega for you. I don't know, maybe you're planning something for October or something. But yeah, I was watching Sam and Colby, who are YouTubers. They do kind of ghost investigations. And their tour guide was called David. And at the moment that rituals, exactly, don't do rituals at this place that they were investigating. There had been rituals done in the basement, which is not advisable. But yeah, the tour guide was called David, and he said maybe you've got an attachment or something. So I've got a clip of that exact thing.
Hey, Alice. Come here, Alice. She doesn't like me.
Maybe she's attacking or something.
It's okay, Alice. We're not gonna hurt you. We love you. Alice is like, I did not sign up for this shit.
So it's like, it was exactly what I'd been channeling, right? So I do this a lot. I channel movies, I channel TV shows, anything that's in the popular consciousness, it always comes through to me. So yeah, whatever I channel, 99 times out of 100 it will play out that day or the next day. Like, I will get confirmation of the things that I'm visually seeing or yeah, channeling. So I don't know, make of that what you will as well. The number 7 might be important. Okay, let's get you some cards on camera. Thank you, by the way. If there are spirits using my phone and ghost tube to communicate, I really do appreciate it. And if you do have any messages for Aquarius, feel free to chat whenever you like. I may not understand, and I'm sorry if I don't understand, but you can go ahead and use that device whenever you feel like it. What do we have for Aquarius, please? Right now, if you want to help me pick cards, that's great too. Obviously, I use my guides to protect me and protect my energy, and they are in charge of the reading. But, you know, my guides, I believe, are quite happy to work with the spirits and energies that come in. What do we have, please, for Aquarius? I'm just getting that Amaretto song. You meet a lot of jerks, baby. It's common in your line of work. Ice on the underlying could be significant. And you've got the priest and the beach. I feel like the beach has come up for you twice already. I've gone very lightheaded. It's because I was channeling.
You don't understand.
I don't understand. Who doesn't understand? Is it that I don't understand, or are you talking to somebody else? And could you help us understand? The priest card to me, if I explain what this card symbolizes to me, is somebody who is a protector of knowledge. The priest is kind of a conduit between what would be God in certain religions, or spiritual.
I'm scared.
Why are you scared? You have no need to be scared. You're safe here. This is a safe space. Perhaps somebody's gone to a priest and told them that they're scared, especially if they do feel like they've got an attachment. Ethan, we got a name, Ethan. Thank you. I don't know if that's significant to you. Yeah, so Neil, that is something. It's spelled K-N-E-E-L, but the name Neil could mean something. But Neil is what a priest asks someone to do, right? That is significant. Thank you for talking to us. Perhaps the priest was called Ethan. Perhaps somebody called Ethan has gone to the priest. Perhaps somebody was talking about somebody called Ethan. I would say if you need to do what feels right to you, using your intuition and what you feel motivated to do. If you feel motivated to go to a priest, whether you are or are not religious, and keep an open mind and see what they say. Don't take what they say as 100% legitimate true. They're only speaking about their own beliefs. They may or may not be suitable for you. But if you wanted to get more information from a priest, that is something that I would strongly encourage you to do if that's what your intuition is telling you to do. I don't think all priests are created equal. I think you have some priests who take advantage of people for their own gain. And I think you have some priests who genuinely are trying to do some good in the world. I think, you know, you have some people who are spiritually tuned in and some people who aren't. So, you know, don't just take the first priest that comes along. You might have to shop around and find a priest that is in a vibrational match to you. And of course, it doesn't have to be tied to any one specific religion. The priest card to me is just a keeper of sacred knowledge and somebody who is able to help you understand and communicate.
Lower your voice.
Lower your voice. That's the second time it's told me that. I don't feel like I'm speaking particularly loud, but maybe that is a significant message. I'm sorry if you think I'm being too loud. The beach card to me. The beach card to me is, let me just channel the energy of it. I feel like the beach is a very spiritual place, right? It's this place where land meets ocean or land meets water. And water to me is very spiritual. It's, you know, the ocean is the vast unknown. So we are talking about where two different environments meet each other, right? So the priest could be somebody who can communicate between two different environments. I'm sweating so much. It's really hot in the UK today. Humidity yesterday was like 95%, so I am sweating. Just to share that with you all, I have sweat running down my legs. Not the best day to close my window to stop that kind of environmental noise. Maybe someone's been to the beach. Maybe this is significant. Maybe somebody's been to the beach on a very, very hot bite. Be careful if you're going to the beach. Be careful. I saw a lady on TikTok talking about wearing flip-flops in the UK because there's kind of poisonous fish that can give you a really nasty sting. You definitely don't want children to be stung or bit by anything on the beach. So, you know, maybe research what might be good health and safety advice for the specific beach that you're going to at that time of year. But yeah, very, very hot. So make sure you're taking suntan lotion, make sure you're taking water. You know, if there's a heat wave, you know, things like ice and water can sell out in the local shops. So be prepared, have a backup plan. Don't just rely on being able to pop into the shop and buy ice because there might not be any left if it's...
I'm not sure how.
I'm not sure how. How to have a backup plan. Just take some bottles with you, right? You know, stay out of the sun at the hottest part of the day, all that kind of thing. Okay, let's move on. Thank you so much. Ice. I just remembered that you had ice, right? Ice baby. For example, there's things that you can have as well, like, is it even up here? Is it here? Yes. So I've got this for my cat. He doesn't actually use it, unfortunately. I was suggesting my kid take it to her exam, so that if she finishes her exam early, she can just kind of put her head on it. But I got my cat this, and it wasn't too expensive. It's like you know those things that you can get in winter and you crackle them and they start generating heat? But this is kind of like the opposite, and it doesn't run out. It's like rechargeable, and it's got some kind of crystal in it. You just kind of, you know, you activate it by putting pressure on it and then it starts to get really cold. Maybe I'm going to sit on this for the rest of the reading. Yeah, it's just like a cooling mat. Like, I think it was like £10 or something off Amazon. I'm going to sit on it.
It's unknown.
It's unknown. Is it? Okay. Oh my God, yes. That is heaven on my butt. Sorry to be sacrilegious, but it is. Okay. Highly recommend. It's for cats, but it works for human butts too, I can confirm. Okay, who is... Let me just... Hang on, the energy's getting silly. Aquarius. Somebody could be really into woodwork or DIY. I can hear somebody sawing outside. Who is...
Blessed.
Oh, thank you so much. I was about to say who is attached to Aquarius. I'm going to ask two different questions. Who is attached to Aquarius? Thank you. Shakti and Kali. Okay. Yeah, I definitely... There is a kind of wild energy coming in, slightly wild feminine energy. Kundalini awakening, energy and movement. Kundalini is said to be in things like yoga and certain religions and certain spiritual practices, Kundalini energy is said to be like a serpent coiled at the base of your spine.
To your left.
To your left? what's it doing over there? It's meant to be in my spine, right? And it uncoils and rises through your 7 chakras that you have in your body. There's more chakras that extend beyond the body. And this is your Kundalini awakening. I had a Kundalini awakening. It's when my psychic powers activated. I didn't know what was happening to me. I had to Google it. Yeah, so this could be happening to you as well. Perhaps this is quite a scary experience for you. I felt blessed. I felt like like the world had changed, like the sky.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. I felt like the sky had become more beautiful. Everything was more vibrant. I felt like I'd walked into a fairy tale. Like I was like, God is real. Like when I had my spiritual awakening, and I felt very safe. But the actual experience itself was quite unsettling because I was like, I don't know what's happening to me. I remember one of the first things that happened was I woke up in the middle of the night and it was like a radio suddenly started blaring, right? Imagine somebody putting a radio on next to you and it blaring. It was actually like karaoke. It was somebody singing I Will Survive, but it was in my head, right? So then you start to think, am I going crazy? Do I need to go for a mental health checkup? But everything that happened was confirmed to me. It was like predictive. And the more I asked for confirmation, the more confirmation I saw. So everything was validated. And I started to feel less and less crazy and more, this is real. This is really happening. So this could be something that you're experiencing.
He won't leave.
He won't leave. Who won't leave? Again, maybe this. Who won't leave? Can you give me a name? Let me rephrase. Oh, why should he leave? Why is it important that he should leave? Okay, let's keep going. Maybe it'll keep interjecting. Maybe this is making sense to you guys. We've got Callie here with shadow, illusion, and ego. So I love shadow energy actually because back off. Because to me, if you read Carl Jung and Carl Jung's, I'll speak to you as well and explain what I understand about the shadow. If you read Carl Jung and Carl Jung's philosophies and the belief in incorporating the shadow to get the golden shadow, it just talks about working on yourself and understanding the parts of yourself that maybe are not so pretty. Maybe, you know, those kind of thoughts or ideas that, you know, you think, I'm glad nobody else knows I think that because it makes me a bad person. It could just be something small like, I don't know. I think we all have them. And a lot of the time we push away those impulses, especially if you think of yourself as being a nice person or a good person. It's like you don't want to think those bad thoughts, right? You don't want to, you know, you want to be a good person full of light. But you know, maybe it's an urge, maybe it's just as an example, it's the urge to smoke. Maybe you've been trying to give up smoking and you have this urge to smoke, right? So it's like smoking would be the bad thing. Now, it doesn't make you a bad person because you have the urge to smoke, right? Torturer, right? If we're going to start being, I mean, it might be like torture to give up smoking. It's a very, very difficult thing to do. I don't want to deny kind of what's coming through. You know, if somebody feels like, you know, they're being threatened by something, I don't, you know, this could be what one of you is experiencing. I don't want to invalidate anyone's experiences. Yeah, but really this is just talking about embracing our dark side in a way where we have control over it. It doesn't have power over us. And it's 3333 on the timestamp as I say that. So yeah, this is about, you know, when we deny something about ourselves, when
You're welcome.
You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? Yeah, when we deny a part of ourselves, we're not whole, right? If you think about yin yang. So when we refuse to look at something, you know, think about, you will have met people like this. Have you ever met someone where it's like they have a bad characteristic and they constantly deny it and they constantly refuse to see it about themselves? I may have to take a break. I've just got a message that I might have to respond to, but I'll carry on for a minute. It's not urgent. Excuse me. So yeah, somebody has a bad characteristic and they refuse to see it about themselves, and they refuse to, even though every single person they ever meet and every single person says, hey, this might be a problem, or I don't like the way you're acting, it's always somebody else's fault.
It's what we want.
It's what we want. They always pass the blame. They always say, well, I'm acting like this because of this, this, and this, rather than seeing it as something that is a characteristic of themselves that maybe they need to work on. So that's an example of their shadow ruling them, because they have a blind eye to it. They refuse to do the work. What I say about doing shadow work and incorporating the shadow is saying, oh, I have this way of behaving. I have this tendency to do this, or a tendency to think this way. Day, D-A-Y, like night and day. Yeah, well, yes, day. It'd be like bringing it to the light, wouldn't it? Actually looking at that thing. It's kind of like blue. It's daytime right now. I'm looking out the window at the blue sky. Can you see that too? Day and blue. So this card is blue as well. She has blue hair. So yeah, like if you think about AA, right? If you went to an AA meeting, Alcoholics Anonymous, what people expect you to say is, hi, my name is, and I'm an alcoholic, because it's about recognizing that thing, not denying it. You can't improve something if you deny its existence. And it's the same with our own personal shadow. So yeah, I always say about the devil card, it's like, okay, so that you and the devil might be chained, but you have once, you can pull on those chains just as the devil can pull on the chains, right? Like, who is in control? Who is in control?
Please come back.
Please come back. Yeah, somebody could definitely have attachment issues, abandonment issues. Okay. I don't know why I've put those cards away. I do know who is the guardian spirit of Aquarius at this time. Who is assisting? Jul. Transition, life stages, coming of age. Yeah, either this could be you personally if you are going through a big change in your life. It could be teenage years, it could be menopause, it could be moving away from home for the first time, it could be becoming a parent, retiring. There's a lot of these kind of major milestones that, people experience, these major life shifts. I want to say, especially if you have any major planets shifting signs for you in your birth chart at this time, which may be worth looking up on. I use Cafe Astrology. I'm not affiliated, but it's an app that I find very useful. It's completely free. It gives you a lot of information if you want to go and, input your details into that and check that out. I am noticing a lot of serpents. I've been seeing serpents on the cards that I've been using for kind of like the pre-reading. And you did have that thing about Kundalini energy, so maybe that could mean something to you. Maybe you have somebody who is in spirit who kept snakes, for example. I feel like it's like a drip of sweat running down my spine right now, and I'm pretty sure that is what it is. Two beads of sweat dripping down my spine right now, and it's significant because like Kundalini energy rises up your spine. And what is Spirit helping Aquarius with, please? What is Spirit helping Aquarius with? What is Spirit helping Aquarius with, please? This card keeps on coming out. Keeps on coming out.
Please listen.
I am trying to listen. I'm trying to understand. If you could help me do so, that would be amazing. You have more... My joystick is everywhere. Have more ice. You've got ice here. And clarity. Perhaps when a situation is very hot, which could be when there's a lot of tempers roaring really high, or there's a situation that's uncomfortable, it might be hard to have clarity. Yeah, look at what's underneath. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The earth is getting hotter, right? You've got home and earth and fury. We're here. I wonder if we're talking about, like, are we talking to nature spirits, guardian spirits, protectors of the earth? Humans aren't looking after the earth very well at the moment. We're not being very efficient with waste disposal, energy production. We're doing a lot of things that are causing the temperatures to rise, the sea levels to rise, things changing with the, temperatures affecting coral reefs. you know, our landscape is changing. Landscape changes, rearranges. What's that song? Forgiveness. I feel like it's Sugar Babes. I'm channeling, sorry guys, just give me a sec. I know that there's gonna be a change. Gonna find our way through our fears. I'm all alone and I'm feeling stronger. It's Stronger by Sugar Babes. I may forget to make a note of that. All the songs should be in the description box below, but there's always one or two that slip through the net. Yeah, so clarity. To get clarity, perhaps we need to cool down, to go higher, to have a higher perspective. You could be getting some clarity coming through you, to you through sleep, through dreams. This could be when your guides connect to you, when you actually did dream about being in a car last night. I feel like it's probably a tunnel. I don't remember there being a tunnel. Perhaps tunnel's significant to you. This does kind of look like a tunnel, right? Home and earth. This card keeps on coming out. I don't know what else to say. She kind of looks, I don't know, it's kind of the way her hair's piled on top of her head. Some similarity there. Like, I'm even swapping those two cards around. And her back's out, right? It's like her back's cooling down, something like that. And then bushfires, fury. When people are angry, they lose their temper, right? They lose control. This is when that Jekyll and Hyde behavior comes in. You know, when we lose our temper, sometimes our worst side can come out. You know, all the thoughts and feelings and things that we've, you know, where we've been biting our tongue to keep the peace. You know, sometimes we can really say things that are very, very hurtful in the moment. You know, people, when they're angry, they can lash out, when normally they may be very, very peaceful. So I think, and again, we've got that word change again. So I do feel perhaps Spirit was right with my messages, that perhaps, I mean, Spirit's always right. I'm the one that gets it wrong. My interpretation can be wrong. Spirit's never wrong. And so sometimes I'll interpret something one way and then it'll play out and I'll be like, oh, yeah, Spirit was 100% right. I read that wrong. So yeah, there could be a situation where somebody does have something like BPD. So my neighbours are moving some furniture around, so you may hear some drilling. Yeah, there could be a situation where if somebody does have an underlying behavioural disorder like BPD, bipolar disorder, which stems from insecure attachments. Portal, thank you. We've had tunnel and portal. Insecure attachments in childhood. It could be that if there's changes going on, for example, like I say, my neighbours are kind of moving, you know, those triggers could be activated and somebody could start to act out, lash out, you know, their shadow side could come out to play. But Spirit's helping. Spirit's not helping for this to come through, but Spirit is helping to transverse this situation and to guide and to help people make healthier choices and minimize any impact.
I want one.
I want one. What is one? Define one. I want what? One what? I need to take that break, guys, but okay, Ghost Tube. Spirits. I'm going to give you a second if there's anything else you want to say before I take a break. Okay, thank you for speaking with us. I may or may not be able to get Ghost Tube working again for the second part of the reading because it's a little bit temperamental on my phone. So it is two. You said you want one and now you're saying two. Two of what? Two parts to the reading? You want one part, you don't want me... You want one part, you don't want me to take a break. Okay, I'm really sorry, I have to. I have some laundry as well that's in the machine, and with it being such a hot day, if I leave it in the machine, it's going to go smelly. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to do one continuous reading with you, I do need to take a break and do those boring activities that we need to do when we're here in mortal form on Earth, you know, having to clean things. I know it's boring. I'd rather sit here talking to you guys too. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll be back soon. Okay, hi, back again, and I brought coffee and I brought Ghost Tube. It's working for me, which is weird because I always have problems with it. And today I have no problems with it. And it should be asking me for permissions, and it's not asking me for permissions. So it's almost like where normally I have a lot of trouble getting it to work. Today it's super easy, which to me is a sign that it should be being used for this reading. Also, I got the name Bobby. I don't know if the name Bobby is Roberta, Robert, could be something for somebody, but as soon as I turned it on, it said Bobby, and that's all it said so far. I've put it on top of the kind of angels and goddesses among us decks, which I use to kind of find out who your spirit guides are. So hopefully that will help them come through. Okay, I'm gonna move.
Hear him.
Can you hear him? Okay, I'll be quiet and I'll listen. I'm not hearing anything right now. Kind of a bit of a tingling in my ears, but I think that's just generally there. Okay. Again, it might not necessarily be speaking to me. It might be speaking directly to you. Maybe you're asking Ghost Tube questions and it's answering you and I have no idea. Okay, which deck should I use? I don't know if Ghost Tube wants to interject, say in 1, 2, or 3. I'm just trying to figure out which deck to use for your energy. I'm feeling steampunk because one of the cards slid towards me. So we'll go with that. Okay, so we're going to do past, present, and future, emotions, thoughts, and action space. So we're going to go emotions, past emotions first for Aquarius.
Move it.
Move it. Did you move it? I said it moved towards me. Did you guys see that? Maybe. Okay. It's also making me think of, I like to move it, and I'm getting a sting on the front of my left shin. Okay, Queen of Swords. So this is Libran energy. It doesn't have to be Libra. It doesn't have to be female. It doesn't have to be male. It's just telling me that emotionally, and we do have ice here as well, and we do have clarity, and this is a similar energy. So the Queen of Swords is the ruler of thoughts. She's the ruler of logic. She's the ruler of concise, accurate arguments. She's very clear thinking. She normally sees the situation with a lot of clarity. But this is in your emotions. I was asking about your emotional space in the past. So sometimes Aquarius, especially, of all the signs, you are the most likely to do this. Sometimes Aquarius can see emotions or, temper or sadness or anything that's like a strong emotion as something almost
I'm weak.
I'm weak. Exactly. Thank you so much. You helped me find the words. So it's like a weakness, right? Strong emotional responses are a weakness because, it's like the emotions or the passions are taking over and we lose our thoughts. Now, Aquarius being a fellow air sign, this is Libra, but it can be any air sign. You're normally the King of Swords, so another ruler of thoughts and logic and clarity. So Aquariuses tend to, again, depending on your full chart, you may have some night, so like day and night, spelt with an N, not a K. So you may feel that, again, maybe you've got like an Aries Mars placement, which is very volatile. It's very reactive. It's somebody who flies off the handle when they get angry. Or maybe you've got a water sign Venus placement or a water sign Mercury placement, which would control relationships and how you feel in relationships. And maybe you get very emotional about those things. I have a huge amount of swords. I am mostly Libra in my chart, so I'm very like this. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling something. Why am I feeling that? Which chemical is activating in my body? It's kind of like I have that kind of higher perspective on myself and my situation. It's like, well, I'm feeling like this, but I'm feeling like this because of this. So for example, I'm due on, so I know that I'm feeling emotional because I'm due on, or, so it's very analytical, it can be a really good thing. It can be a really bad thing. It's a good thing because it means you can take a step back from a situation, and instead of being reactive and over emotional and scream. Idiot, exactly. Exactly. Instead of acting like an idiot, and that is 100% how I see people. You know, I like if I see people who are drunk and they're having an argument in the street, I'm like, oh, silly. Like it's like caveman brain, right? It's like the brain's gone out the window. They're not thinking logically, and they're just screaming at each other. It's like they're acting like idiots. Exactly. So Aquarius, you and me, we're vibing well right now. We get it. And so maybe that is the werewolf. Maybe that's the dark part of you. When the fury gets triggered, right? When you get angry, and everybody gets angry, everybody can get angry, right? It's a situational thing. You know, the werewolf comes out, and maybe you do see that as you being an idiot. You know, I lost my temper. I was an idiot. You know, something like that. So this could be a much more comfortable emotional space for you to have clarity about your emotions, to know why you feel a certain way, to be able to apply logic to emotional situations could be a really strong point for you. She is in the upright, which is telling me this is positive. If it was in the reverse, this would be like cold as ice, like almost like not feeling something, like unable to feel emotions, or, you know, being cold or callous or cruel even, but she's not. So I think in the past, this is feeling very emotionally analytical, and it's probably a very good sign. Other people may see you as particularly icy, especially if they're very emotional people or reactionary people. You know, if it's somebody looking at you handling a certain situation with a lot of grace and a lot of clarity and a lot of insight, you know, they may be like, I would have got really angry, I would have hit them, I would have, you know, shouted at them, I would have screamed at them, I would have thrown them out. And you're saying, well, why would I do that? Because, you know, if I'd have done that, there would have been consequences. So it's like being able to see steps ahead, you know. I really like it. Again, depends. It feels mostly like a good thing to me. I'm feeling very American. I don't know. I get an American twang to my voice. I think it's just because I watch so much like YouTube and stuff. But Andrew. Okay, do you know what popped into my head? Maybe Andrew is a very relevant name to you guys. Because I was just talking about watching YouTube, and I haven't watched this channel for a while, but there is another person who does ghost hunt videos called Gareth Watts, and his cameraman is called Andrew. It's like Gareth and Andrew always go on these kind of ghost hunting adventures together, but that's who I thought of when it said Andrew. I don't know if that's any relevance whatsoever. Maybe you know an Andrew who's a cameraman. Maybe he's ginger. I don't know. Thoughts. Aquarius's thoughts in the past. That is so funny. You've got the Queen of Cups in your thoughts. So you've got the Queen of Thoughts in your emotions and the Queen of Emotions in your thoughts. Yeah, so I feel like you're doing a lot of, I mean, this is blocking. And this is you. This is all your energy. So we're not talking about someone outside of you. We're not like, oh, that Queen of Cups you're dealing with. I'm asking about your energy right now. So this is your feelings, your emotions. And again, the Queen of Cups has a lot of clarity about what she feels. Where the Queen of Swords is more, these emotions are not serving me right now, I am going to go into a more logical mode of operation. The Queen of Cups sits in her emotions, and she really, really feels everything very, very strongly, and she uses her emotions to an advantage. You know, so it might be that, for example, these two queens, like, say, for example, something bad happens, and it's sad. You know, the Queen of Swords might be like, and I'm very like this, right? The Queen of Swords might be like, well, it's not going to do me any good if I sit here crying about it, is it? You know, I'm going to get up, I'm going to be practical, I'm going to do this. Torturer, again. What do you mean by torturer? It's a very strong word. I don't think you should just throw that around. I think, you know, you need to explain why you're using that word. Okay. Where the Queen of Cups would be, she'd want to get her friends around her. She'd cry. You know, people would... We command it. Torturer, we command it. And so the Queen of Cups is going to provoke a lot more empathy in the people around her, because people can see how upset she is. Where the Queen of Swords may be equally upset, she's just dealing with it in a more logical, efficient way. So she may be seen as very cold and calloused, which again, Aquarius, a lot of people say this about Aquarians, you know, you can be a little bit hard to reach, you know, you can be a little bit standoffish, you can be a little bit cold in certain situations, hard to approach. And I do find Aquariuses, especially Aquarius women, I always think, oh, they have, I'm sorry Aquarius, but they have resting bitch face. And I always think Aquarius hates me. I'm like, they don't like me. Like, they've got no time for me. They don't want to talk. But then you talk to an Aquarius and you get to know them, and they're so sweet and so funny. And they have that Queen of Cups energy. They're actually very, very loving. Gemini too. And Libra, all the air signs, they've actually got that, a huge amount of love. But I think they're more picky and choosy about who they choose to love and who they choose to spend their time with, right? They don't have time for everybody because they know that's not efficient. So it's interesting that you've got the two queens but the opposite way around. But then in your thoughts you're thinking, no, block, because the Two of Swords is blocking. It's enough of that, stop. Oh, I was seeing stop signs. I forgot to make a note of it.
To your left.
To your left, stop sign to your left, if that makes any sense. I've been seeing literal stop signs. I think they're British. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, like, so a hexagon, I think, shape, with a white border, and they've got a red background, and they say stop on them. I've been seeing stop signs, which it's a shame I didn't mention it earlier, because, you know, I was talking about seeing pathways and cars and seeing stop signs. So watch out for stop signs if you're driving, if you're a new driver, if you're driving in an unfamiliar area, make sure you pay attention to the stop signs. Spirit could be sending you stop signs, but it's interesting because
Please go.
Please go, stop and go. That's really interesting. So yeah, this idea of like blocking your emotions because it scares you, blocking your emotions because it scares you, blocking your emotions because they're unknown or unfamiliar, with the Moon card there. Okay, very interesting. Makes a lot of sense for Aquarius to do that. Again, everybody's birth chart is different, so how open you are to feeling things and how close you are to feeling things depends on your chart. Like I say, I've got my only water placement, I think, is my North Node in Cancer. So for me, being the Queen of Cups, being vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable, really, really hard for me. I'm not the sort of person who can just, you know, sit there crying and, you know, let people comfort me. I can't, it's just really unnatural for me to do that. I'm like, leave me to it. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to think about it. I'm good on my own. So if you also operate in that kind of way, I totally understand. It's like, ooh, emotions. Okay. Seven of Swords flipped and hidden. There's something about, what I was thinking there is something about support. It's like, I don't need support. You know, where the Queen of Cups, she's sat there crying, everybody's flocking to her and supporting her and, you know, helping her out because she's showing, she's signaling that she needs help, right? I feel like you're signaling that you don't want emotional support, whether this is intentional or not. And so the idea in my head came to me there where it's like, I don't need support. I can do it on my own. I can be independent, because Aquarius is a very independent sign. You know, Aquarius values their independence. You know, you don't want to rely on others. Perhaps you see that as something that's very weak. You know, there's different types of people in the world. For example, like there's the sort of person who something happens to them, they ring up every single friend and talk it through. They ring up their mom, they ring up their sister, you know, and it's like they just tell the story over and over again. They keep going through it because they need that social support, that emotional support, which is all cups. And then you have the people who don't pick up the phone.
What is this?
What is this? I don't even know what this is. Why do we have to dial it? Somebody could have a phone with a dial like that, because I was actually getting like this movement was coming through. I kind of forgot about it again because it was so brief, but that feeling of like, you know, when you put your finger on the phone and you dial it on those old rotary phones. Yeah, but the Seven of Swords was there, which hid. So there could be some self-deception or self-illusion about not like lying to yourself that you don't need emotional support when really everybody needs a little bit. You know, you might just have to be selective about the person that you choose to speak to. Action space in the past. There you go, collaboration. So you were working with other people, you were collaborating, you were in a situation where everybody was bringing different talents and skills to a situation. Could definitely be a work situation, but it could be anything, any situation where you're working with others. Hammer. Perhaps somebody was doing some building or some DIY or woodwork or something, because we had that before with the person with the saw, and then we had next door with kind of like, they were hammering, weren't they? And then now you've got a hammer as well. So you were trying to build something, you were trying to construct something. Perhaps you did need a little bit more support in this situation than you were letting on, because this is your thoughts and your feelings. You're not necessarily expressing that, right? But you were collaborating. So what's going on currently in your emotions? I've got coffee and it's so hot, and I'm gonna have to wait until it's like stone cold to be able to drink it. Emotions currently for Aquarius, please. Emotions currently for Aquarius. Feeling really good. That's really, really happy. Feeling like you have a certain amount of freedom. Feeling like you have clarity. The Sun is one of the most positive cards in the deck. The only other card that I'd say would come close would be the Star card, which would be your card. So the Sun as opposed to the Star. So there's a feeling of hope, a feeling of, I want to say there's something perhaps about letting go of wishes, or letting go of the control of the outcome, and feeling a lot more freedom and flow. It's kind of like going where the good energy is, going where the good vibes are, doing what feels good in the moment. Leo energy. But you're very happy about something. And then there's this thawing out, right? Because this Queen of Swords is the Ice Queen to me, because you had the ice. And then like bringing the Ice Queen out into the sunlight. It's almost like a vitamin D deficiency or something, right? It's kind of like you can't believe how much better you feel when the sun comes up again and you get outside and you start to be able to, I don't know, go in your garden or have a barbecue or go for a walk. And, you know, like you're not in polar bear mode anymore. You're in, you know, you've come out of hibernation almost. It's too hot now, though. The sky fire is trying to kill me again. It's trying to just, I don't know, get all the water out of my body and turn me into a shriveled little prune, trying to dehydrate me. Could we have a balance, please? I like autumn. The World card. It's funny as well because you've got like these two cards together, right? Home and Earth, the World card, Earth, and Fury, bushfires with the Sun, that hot and Earth together, fire and Earth. The World card, you're thinking about, you could be thinking about traveling, thinking about going on holiday somewhere, thinking about going and exploring a new territory. The World card can literally mean the world. It does talk about a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of kind of wrapping things up. Everything here is funny because you had all those songs, right? The David Bowie songs about the man who sold the world and as the world falls down. So you could feel a little bit like there's a big change coming through in regards to your world, right? Your environment, your life, your situation. It's like the world is turning and there's a new phase coming in. You seem to be very, very happy about this. It could also indicate something about the internet. So again, with that logical side, being Aquarius, the ruler of technology, there could be some opportunities coming on, becoming available for you, new doors opening up, new pathways opening up in like working.
Please come back.
Please come back. Your old workplace is like, please come back, please don't leave. We need you. We'll give you a raise. Yeah, the world is the internet, basically, the World Wide Web. So there could be opportunities opening up for you, or you could be thinking about doing something online, maybe doing an online course, maybe working online, maybe being an influencer, maybe you're expanding your business and you're going to be using social media to do that. All these kinds of things could be running through your thoughts. You've definitely done everything that you can do in one situation though, and you're ready to move on to kind of new ground in some sort of way. This is all what you're thinking. Presumably, if this is your reading, if it's not resonating, it's not the reading for you, right? It's for a different Aquarius, I guess. Action space. Hiding, and I know what's hiding. Do you know what's hiding? What have we been talking about? That shadow side. Denial. Denial's not just a river in Egypt. The devil.
Possessed.
That is... The word possessed came through with the devil. And this is in your action space. Ghost Tube, do you have anything else to say about that? Spirits who are using the Ghost Tube app. Can you give me more information on that? I will pull more cards on that soon. You feel chained to something. It could be some kind of addiction. We did have the word attachment. You could have attachment issues. There could be a person, place, or thing that you feel particularly chained or attached to. This could be voluntary or involuntary. For example, if you've got some kind of addiction and you don't see it as a problem because it's hidden. When a card hides in the deck like that, it's a secret, it's hidden, but it's your energy. A secret devil, a secret addiction, something puppeting you. So it could be, for example, I freely admit I've got a coffee addiction, and it's not the worst addiction you could have, right? But you could be addicted to something that's particularly destructive. You could have a gambling addiction, right? You're gambling away all your money. Or, you know, you could have an obsession with a certain person, right? But you don't want them to know. You want to keep it hidden. So there's all different ways that the devil can show up, but it's very addictive. It's funny as well because I was getting Capricorn and I was like, oh, it's just, you know, because it's the cusp, right? Capricorn, Aquarius cusp. And even David Bowie is a Capricorn. The devil card is Capricorn, and that's not to say that Capricorn... Oh my god, that I did not fart. That is because... Do I want to cut that out or keep it in? It's a pretty funny moment. It sounded like a massive fart, guys, which is so funny. I just shifted on my chair and my ass is so sweaty, and I'm sat on that blue thing that it made a massive squelchy fart sound. Okay, I mean, I might keep it in. It's pretty funny. I've got low humor. Fart jokes are fun. But I swear it was just because I was shifting around on this chair. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I can do it again.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. My ass is pretty sweaty though, so let's give it a try. I don't think it's working now. All right, I don't know. I don't care. People fart, guys. It wasn't a fart, but, you know, if you think it was a fart... Whatever. The devil card. I mean, I think the devil just if it was a fart, I think it would have been a demon fart. That was so funny. Okay, that could have been like a distraction as well. I need to reactivate this thing. It's not keeping me cool anymore. Maybe I'm just gonna take my ass off it so I'm not making this fart sounds. Right. Okay, we do need more information on that though. It's like the sun and the devil. I don't know. Right, emotions. What's going on emotionally in Aquarius's future, please? Feeling impulsive, feeling excited, feeling impulsive, feeling creative. Embracing that feeling where you've been denying it so far. I feel like this is an embracing of something that feels wrong to you. Something that you've been...
What year is it?
What year is it? It's, I mean, good question because I'm really bad with time and date, but it's 2024 in the way that I calculate it. What year is it for you? Funny because I was talking about time travel as well. Right, the Knight of Wands. So very impulsive, very excited. This is like, it feels good, so I'm going to do it. I'm excited about it, so I want to pull more energy to it. It's very spontaneous. Can be a good thing, can be self-destructive. It's come out in the upright, so this is normally positive. In the reverse, this would be somebody who doesn't think things through. They just fly off the handle. They maybe have a bad temper. It's not, right? It's in the upright. So that's you embracing this very playful, very impulsive.
You are annoying.
You are annoying. Perhaps this is the thing. Perhaps people told you that this was annoying. And maybe Spirit's telling me that I'm annoying. I know. I blame my Gemini moon, right? I'm a big kid. You know, in this life, we face a lot of judgment from others. You know, people tell us, you know, how to behave, how to, you know, how we should speak, who we should speak to, what we should speak about, you know, be quiet, you should speak up, you're too loud. There's all these things that people tell us. People are always so critical of other people, and a lot of time the more critical somebody is of somebody else, the more they're denying about their own personality, right? It's when people project onto others, right? They project their own insecurities onto others. And unfortunately, in this society, I think, if you look at some of the tabloid newspapers, they're very critical of people rather than being supportive of people. So there is a time, the Queen of Swords is kind of like the Queen of criticism. And I think there's a time and place for criticism, right? There's a time and place where being a critic is helpful, right? And being a critic can be constructive. But there's also times when, for example, you're being annoying, when you're out having fun. It's like, don't rain on my parade, So I think it's important to ask yourself, who is being critical of you and how much do you value their opinion? Perhaps I say this to my kids about, bullies at school. If somebody says something to them, I'm like, well, do you like that person? And then I say, do you think that person has like good opinions? Or do you think that they're wrong a lot of the time? And so I'll break it down and they'll be like, well, no, I don't really care what that person says about me because I don't think they have good opinions.
I'm eternal.
I'm eternal. Nice. Cool. I don't know what else to say about that. That's really cool. And then, so it's giving me Eternal Flame, the song Eternal Flame. So I want to say there could be something for you because you've got this suppression, right? You've got this thing coming through about suppressing your more spontaneous nature, your more playful, childish, kind of like the Knight of Wands is kind of like teenager, right? Like just out having fun and not really thinking about the consequences, just living in the moment. And so it could be that perhaps you had to grow up really young. Perhaps you're the oldest child of the family and you had to look after your younger siblings, or perhaps your parents put a lot of responsibilities on you at a young age. Perhaps they really focused on your academic life. So these moments when you were out having fun and being silly perhaps were suppressed. And so perhaps when you feel like you want to go out and have some fun and blow off some steam, it's like you've always got that helicopter parent mum voice. I'm a helicopter parent, so same. Going, oh, you shouldn't do that, you're being too silly, you're being too loud, quiet down, being very critical. So it could be very hard for you to open up that side of yourself, but I see you doing it in the future. Let's find out, or you want to do it in the future. It's the way you feel in the future. Emperor there again, parents. Emperor would obviously be father. Future thoughts, please, for Aquarius. Future thoughts for Aquarius. I was hearing not thinking about the consequences, and I think this is the Queen of Pentacles, but it was hidden. I'm getting something through, but I want to get clarification on it. I don't know if you want to interject, Ghost Tube, and say what I'm thinking. The Queen of Pentacles is the wife card. She is... Because there's the Nine of Pentacles as well. The Nine of Pentacles is very similar to the Queen of Pentacles, but it's independent. It's not attached. The Queen of Pentacles is attached in some sort of way. So she has responsibilities. So she can be a wife. She can be a boss. She can be a business partner. Doesn't have to be she, by the way, or everything. You can gender flip anything in my readings unless I specifically specify. So... yeah, she's normally really good with money. She's normally really good with practical matters. But being hidden is you. So it would be, because I'm just trying to channel your energy.
I'm scared.
I'm scared? Why are you scared? What are you scared of? What is making you feel afraid? Can you explain that to me, please? So feeling like you want to be impulsive. The thing about the Knight of Wands as well is the horny card. You had horny, oh my God, and my notes are on my phone. You literally had the song, I'm horny, 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 horny. And there was about 3 songs that were all to do with You had like Getting Jiggy With It by Will Smith. Getting Jiggy With It, honey. Like 3 songs back to back that were all about basically a horny guy. And then the wife card being hidden in somebody's thoughts. But this is your energy. So you could be attached.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? I don't necessarily think affairs are a good thing. I mean, you could be in an open relationship, right? In which case, if everybody has discussed it and everybody's fine with that situation. But that was hidden. It's like wanting to have fun with somebody and putting the attachment out of your mind. You could be partnered with a Capricorn, but not necessarily. You could want to have fun with a Leo. Action space. Okay. Yeah, you could definitely want to be out having fun with a fire sign. Possibly you could have strong fire in your chart. And this fire energy, you've got bushfire's fury, right? The fire energy could be really wanting to come out to play for you at the moment. You've got the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So you're acting on your impulses. You're feeling impulsive and you're acting on it because this is the Queen of Wands taking control and going out and having some fun. She looks really good. She feels very confident. She feels in control.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? That could be something that somebody says in this moment. But then why is the Queen of Pentacles? It could just be this idea of like, I'm not going to think about my responsibilities. I'm not going to think about work. I'm not going to think about, being practical right now. This is my time to go out and have some fun. So it could simply be something like you're a mum, right? You're a mum, you're working, you're very busy, you've got a lot of responsibilities, you're cooking tea, you're doing the laundry. But, your sister, your friends, they could say, hey, do you want to come out on a girls' night? We're going to get a spa day. We're going to go and have a meal. We're going to sleep in a hotel. It's going to be great. So it doesn't necessarily mean that anyone's cheating on anyone, right? It's one way that I could read it. It could just be now, I'm not mum right now. I am not mum right now. I am this sexy, fun sister who's going to go out and have a good time and just let off some steam. It could be something like that. But we are going to clarify. We're going to clarify, aren't we? Ghost Tube. Going to dig a little deeper, get some more information. Yeah. They're showing me a specific card. So I'm going to go to...
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy being a mum with a job. No. Just life in general is not easy. What do you think isn't easy? What's hard for you? Hey. That's what Ghost Tube said. Why did you feel like the Queen of Swords in the past? All work and no play make Aquarius emotionally shut down. Something wasn't working out. You were working on something and trying to improve it, and you felt like you got to a place where you were stuck and you couldn't make any more improvements on it. So you were continuing to take a logical approach to this situation and try and work out what you could do. But you did feel very emotionally and possibly creatively blocked. You tried to suppress your emotions. You tried to block your emotions because they were scary. So you were consciously aware that you were doing this. What was affecting your thoughts in the past? Choices, options. Yeah, you're trying to be logical because you've got a lot of these options. You know that you have to make a logical choice. You know you need more information. You know you have to think this through. You can't just make an emotional choice in this situation. Probably because there's other people involved with the Three of Pentacles, right? It's not just you that's involved in this situation. Yeah, you're in a community. Everybody needs to be happy. It can't just be your choice, right? It has to be very democratic of you, right? Very Aquarian of you to take everybody's needs into account. So it's not just about whatever the situation is, where there was some sort of lack of progress or blockage or no signs of improvement. Options came up, pathways, choices came up. You probably did have a preference because Queen of Cups is showing there with, your awareness that you were making an emotional choice. You suppress that to take a more logical, communicative approach. The Queen of Swords is communication, to process everybody's ideas, everybody's input in this collaboration, because you wanted everybody to be happy with this situation. You put, this is a very, very Aquarius thing to do, putting the greater good, putting the community's happiness over your own personal preferences and choices. Again, Aquarius is a very democratic sign. You understand that you can't be happy if you make selfish choices. Happiness comes from environmental factors, right? And the environmental factors, it's important to keep... So it's like Sarah, but it's spelled S-A-R-A. So that name could be relevant to you. Tell me about the Sun card. So feeling really good, feeling really happy. I guess whatever you did, it worked out. I guess that was the right course of action. The Sun card. Nine of Cups, yeah, that's really happy. Wishes fulfilled. You made somebody else happy and that made you happy, which is really fucking nice, Aquarius. Nine of Cups, yeah, you fulfilled somebody's wishes. It made them happy. You got that 10 of Cups, you got the Sun card. Everybody's happy. Yeah, it's really nice. Like when your happiness comes from fulfilling other people's wishes, not your own, and seeing other people happy. That's really high vibrational. It's really, really good. The World card in your current thoughts. There's that Queen of Cups again. This is someone external to you. This isn't you because this is somebody else's energy. This is you. This is somebody else. Love blocked, emotions blocked. I want to say that you and somebody else have very strong feelings for each other. It could be romantic. It doesn't have to be. It could be friendship. There's a feeling of you and another person being an emotional match, really caring about each other, which is showing through the cards, right? You care about this person's happiness. However, there's a sense on their side that they're either blocking this with the Four of Pentacles, because this can be a shielding card, or there could be a sense of this is something that needs to be saved. You could be saving up for a trip with this person, for example. The Four of Pentacles is about saving money. Can be a bit of a greedy card. It's Taurus energy. Can be a bit like, this is mine. Somebody could be a little bit possessive around you.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. You can? Can you repeat something that I'm saying? If you're talking to me and you can hear me, could you prove it to me by repeating words that I'm saying for a few minutes? That would be amazing. So yeah, the Queen of Cups and Four of Pentacles. So there's a blockage here, right? It's kind of like a, yeah, they're showing me like a door jam or a, you know, like a clamp on tires. Hopefully you're not getting clamped. And then the Devil's here. Okay, what's this situation? Explain this to me. What's going on? Oh my God. Oh my God. The Devil's been confirmed by the Devil.
Funny.
Funny. Did I say that's funny? And you've repeated funny. Is it funny? It doesn't feel funny. There's another card. The Moon. That could be this is in your action space. Your devil meeting somebody else's devil and it being hidden, and it's in your action space. So this is something that's happening, and it's happening right now. The two dogs howling at the same moon. They're giving me the hounds of love are calling me. Yeah, it could be sexual obsession or romantic obsession, especially if these two people are prone to attachments. Tell me please more about the nature of Aquarius's devil. The nature of Aquarius's devil. Why is the devil here for Aquarius, please? Why is the devil here for Aquarius? Snow, Moon, Purity. Again with the icy cards. Like, look at this imagery. Your devil is purity. See, the thing is, there's a difference between innocence and purity, right? The idea of like purification of the devil as well. Somebody could be attracted to purity. Somebody could be attracted to innocence. Because the devil, the concept of the devil, I don't believe it as a genuine entity, right? I think, you know, we give power to things by believing in them a lot of the time. When I talk about our own shadow, right? Our own inner demons, like our own bad parts of our personality that we need to face and own and challenge. So that we can grow from them, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So that we can be better people, so that we can be in control of ourselves and not let our addictions or negative behaviors rule us. And so the thing with the devil is the concept of the devil, right? The concept of the snake in the tree with the apple, you know, tempting Eve, is like people who are innocent, people who don't have worldly experience are easily manipulated, right? It's like the devil likes the purity because it can corrupt it, or it's uncorrupted. Its tricks work on it. Where when somebody has faced the devil and they know their games, right? They're smarter, they're more clued up, they see the warning signs, they see the red flags, so it's harder for the devil to manipulate them. So on your side, the idea of purity being something that is addictive or brings out your dark side. What's their devil? It's hidden with the moon, but there could also be something to do with fears.
Buried.
Buried. Buried fears? Is that what you mean? Or hidden, buried, hidden? Voice, speak your word, voice. So with the moon card, that's somebody not speaking there. They're at full power moon. Somebody's afraid of speaking their word. Somebody, it could be afraid of calling you out on your bad behavior. This could be that they don't have the devil on their side, but they're hiding your devil energy. Somebody's devil could be that they don't speak up. Somebody's devil could be that they silence themselves. The moon could be self-silencing. But a lot of the time when you call somebody out on the bullshit, they don't have any power over you anymore. You've got power, right? Thinking about Labyrinth now, because you had the song, As the World Falls Down, it's, you have no power over me. So maybe that's all you have to say. All you have to say is you call something out for what it is, or they need to call something out for what it is and say, you have no power over me. I think, as being the Queen of Swords myself, I think there is a lot of power in words. I do believe in speaking up.
Possessed.
Possessed. There we go. I do believe in speaking up. I do believe in speaking out. I mean, I am not possessed. You cannot possess me. That is not possible. My power is strong. And you do not have my permission to possess the people watching my videos. So go and play your games elsewhere, little devil. Yeah, okay. You have no power over me. Okay, Knight of Wands. What's going on with the Knight of Wands there? Four of Wands in reverse. Four of Wands in the upright is like the celebration of a milestone, the party, an event. I feel like there could be somebody that you're expecting to see at some kind of event that isn't there, like they don't go. Maybe because they saw this part of you and it's like better the devil you know, right? It's so funny because I'm working on something with that theme, basically. Better the devil you know. Yeah, I reckon okay, running with that example that I'm being given from my own creative processes. Yeah. It's like takes one to know one. Better the devil you know to Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Queen of Pentacles, Magician in the reverse. Somebody outside of you can't manifest. I want to say that they're manifesting using the wrong tools, or they're manifesting from a bad place. They don't have the ability to manifest in this situation. So they're being foolish. They want to take a leap of...
I'm not sure how.
They don't know how. Well, I'm not going to teach you how if you're showing up with devil energy, am I? So they want to take a leap of faith and try something new. I'm not talking to you. I'm not saying that's you guys. I'm sure you're being very, very helpful. I'm just talking to the Ghost Tube app now. But just in case someone is trying to do something silly, like I said, it seems very immature to me. Like the idea of like, oops, like doing a ritual to summon something, you know, drawing pentagrams and things like that is very childish, right? It's like what kids do, right? Because they're naive, you know. It's like, haha, let's play this funny parlor game, without really without knowing how to properly protect themselves. So it's like, why isn't it working? Because you Googled it off the internet, or you saw it in a movie, or it's like you don't really believe in it, you know? That's why it's not working. Or because you coming through with bad intentions. So, you know, either, you know, your spirit guides that know better, your protective spirit guides, or the spirit guides of others are vetoing your power because it's coming from a bad place. So for your own protection, like, I'm not talking to you because this is energy outside of you, but it's like for their own protection, you know, spirit could be vetoing what they're trying to do, because I think spirit protects us from harm, for one thing, and I think spirit, you know, it knows which doors should and shouldn't be open for us. So even though sometimes we have plans to do a certain thing, if it's not in our greater good and the greater good of the community, which you seem to be making a lot of people happy, so that's a really good place to manifest from. I actually had a reading, a kind of a test reading that I did before this reading, but I felt like it was a bit more for Capricorn. Capricorn had this whole thing about like I can't remember it very well, their reading, but I'm sure there was something about magicians and not being able to manifest, or was that Virgo? It's like nothing that they were doing was working. Everything ended in the Five of Pentacles. And it's like, because, I mean, I can't remember this Capricorn reading very well, but there was something coming through about somebody manifesting with their ancestors. Again, it was like in between readings, so it's kind of like a bridge reading. But it's like the person helping them was the magician. It's like their spirit guide had magician energy. It's like they were the holder of the magician energy. So it made me think of that very kind of warlocky Capricorn energy of like, you know, sometimes being able to manifest from a, like, making me think of warlocks now in like D&D and Baldur's Gate, where it's like you have your patron, right? Manifesting with your patron's power.
He told me.
He told me. What did he tell you? It didn't seem bad though. It felt like it was good. Like it was magician. It wasn't devil, right? It's like somebody in spirit who had access to magic.
You shouldn't be here.
He told me you shouldn't be here. Can you tell me who? And can you tell me where? Four of Cups. Somebody could miss an opportunity with you. Does feel like it. Somebody's going to miss an opportunity with you. You could be at an event or something, maybe really attracted to someone or looking to have some fun with somebody. They feel like something that they're trying to manifest is not working, so I feel like they're gonna... What did it just say? Something about he told me somebody shouldn't be there. He told me somebody shouldn't be there.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. That's what you meant to say at the end of things as well. Goodbye. Okay, I'm going to turn Ghost Tube off now. Goodbye. Thank you so much for speaking to us. We really appreciate it. Okay, I just need to actually make sure that app's closed down because I think the app itself is haunted. It acts very strangely. I'm having to like force stop it. There we go. Okay. What a funny little reading, Aquarius. I'm going to keep my eye on my Aquarius friends for a while. I'm going to be like, what are you up to? What are you up to? This is really, again, I sometimes channel for myself and things that I'm going to be doing. And in a very non-scary way, the two devils meeting makes a huge amount of sense to me. And it's a creative thing that I'm doing. Okay. Can we get some advice, please, for Aquarius? Advice for Aquarius, please. I'm not trying to scare anyone, by the way. I'd actually say, you know, I'd actually be incredibly reassuring. You have autonomy. Nothing can control you. You only give things only have power over you if you give them power over you. If you say that they don't have power over you, then they do not have power over you. That's how it works. You have to believe it. You have to say it with intention, but that is how it works. If you're scared, then it has power over you. You're giving it power. You're giving it your fear, right? Say, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you. But you have to believe it. A lot of manifestation comes from belief. You're not real. You can't hurt me. You know? You have no power over me. Through tales untold and hardships outnumbered, I fought my way here to the Goblin City. Any advice for Aquarius, please? Anything else for Aquarius? There we go. Yeah, boundaries. There you go. Set your boundaries. Say goodbye at the end of a session. You cannot follow me home. All that kind of stuff. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I don't know. You need to work that one out for yourself a little bit. What works for me may not work for you. Maybe you want to go and get some holy water from a priest if that's something that you believe in. Yeah, interesting. But the power is in your hands. And even if we're not talking about kind of ghosts and demons and things like that, if we're talking about real, you know, the physical 3D existence that we live in, this simulation called life, right? It works in the same way. If somebody is taking your power, if somebody is wasting your time, if somebody is bringing bad energy into your life, they make you feel bad, you know, they're a real life succubus and an energy vampire, you know, like Colin Robinson. Put those boundaries. You know, I don't have time right now. I'll call you back. Okay, I've got some time now, but I've only got 10 minutes. You know, no, I'm not lending you money because you'll spend it on smokes. I don't. Smokes is such an old word. I never say smokes. That is a channeled word. I never, ever, ever say smokes. That's so weird. It seems like really old and like cowboy to me. Got my smokes. So maybe somebody uses that specific word. That could be I'm hearing a trigger object. I don't know why it's 12:12 on the clock, 12 minutes past 12. Yeah, your reading's weird. Your reading's freaky. I'm gonna get you a song to close out the reading as well. Can we get a song, please, for Aquarius? Some guidance. Can we get a song, please? Some guidance from a high energy. Not high as in they've been smoking something, but high as in is coming from a high vibrational place, please. Margaret. I knew it. I knew it. When I got Cardigan by Taylor Swift, this was the song that I thought of. That's so funny. And I thought it was by Taylor Swift. My Spotify's on randomized, by the way. This is a simple song, gonna write it for a friend. My shirt is inside out, I'm messy with the pen. He met Margaret on our rooftop, she was wearing white, and he was like, I might be in trouble. He had flashes of the good life. He was like, should I jump off this building now or do it on the double? 'Cause baby, if your love is in trouble, when you know, you know. It kind of makes me laugh running down that path when you're as good as gold, 'cause when you know, you know. Is there a song by Taylor Swift called Margaret? Because this isn't the song I was thinking of. That's really weird. It's like, word to all my friends with their red flags and their white knights, their black eyes and their blue lies. If you're asking yourself, how do you know? Then that's your answer. The answer is no. You've got to run like your head's on fire. Run away. Because baby, if your love's in trouble, when you know, you know. When you're old, like Hollywood and me, the diamond on your ring, the soul that you bring to the table, the one that makes me sing in a minor key. It's a little bit poetic, isn't it? Lana Del Rey's lyrics. So they're open to your interpretation. All right, I hope this reading was helpful to you. I've gone really cold. I have gone very, very cold. Let me just, that is not, I shouldn't be cold right now. The snake. Let me just quickly get one of my cards out. Neptune. Pisces. I think I was asking for a card for myself in this moment, and Neptune has come out. Neptune's about imagination, fairy tales, creativity, sci-fi, things that belong to the dream realm rather than the reality. And it's also the ruler of Pisces. So I think I'm being told wrap up Aquarius's reading now and start to channel for Pisces. So I hope this is helpful to you. Again, protect your energy, get those boundaries up high. Nobody has power, nobody and nothing, no entity has power over you unless you allow it. Okay, and yeah, you've got autonomy. God gave you autonomy, right? So yeah, lucky you. I'm going to leave you to it. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends.